Today, we are cracking open the playbook. We're taking all the hard-earned wisdom from a couple of self-made millionaires and turning it into a straight-up blueprint for you. This is about getting your business idea out of your head and into the real world. So let's jump right in.
You know that feeling, right? You've got notebooks, phone notes, just brimming with ideas. You see problems everywhere that you know you could fix. But then, when it's actually time to do something, you just freeze. It's that awful paralysis of just not knowing where on earth to start.
Well, that feeling, it ends today. What we're going through here is your blueprint. It's specifically designed to shatter that paralysis and give you the real, tangible steps to turn those thoughts into action.
Now, before we get into any tactics, any business models, any of that stuff, we have to start right here with your mindset. Because honestly, the biggest thing holding you back isn't a lack of money or the perfect idea. It's the mental game you're playing with yourself.
Okay, check this out. This is such a powerful reframe. The scarcity mindset looks at a competitor and just shuts down, right? Oh, it's already been done. But the abundance mindset, it sees that same competitor and thinks, amazing, somebody else just spent their time and money to prove people will buy this. They validated my idea for me. You don't have to be some kind of pioneer. You can just start where they are, knowing there's a path.
And this quote just nails the second piece of the puzzle. It's not about being a genius, it's about obsession. The people who really truly make it, they just don't have an off switch. They can't stop thinking about the problem, they can't stop tinkering, and that relentless drive, that's what leads to the breakthrough.
All right, so once you've got that mindset dialed in, we can move on to the fun part, the practical stuff. How do you find an idea? And this is the crucial part, how do you validate it without betting the farm? Let's dig in.
So look, you've really got two main paths to a killer idea. And you'll notice neither of them involves waiting for some magical lightning bolt of inspiration. First, solve a problem that you feel in your bones, something that drives you crazy. Or second, just find something that's already working for someone else and do that. Seriously, forget the pressure to be totally original. Just copy the model first.
And this is what solving your own pain looks like. I mean, this story from Alex Hormozi about his breathing problems is so visceral. When you have this kind of deep personal connection to a problem, you have an advantage nobody can ever take from you. You don't just understand the customer, you are the customer. And that authenticity, that's your best marketing tool, hands down.
Okay, so you have an idea. Maybe it came from your own pain, maybe not. But the next question is always the scary one, isn't it? How do I know if anyone else is actually going to pay for this? The big fear is you're going to spend thousands building something that nobody wants, but you don't have to.
This is absolutely brilliant. It's a way to get real feedback from the market with almost zero cost and zero friction. You don't need a prototype, you don't need inventory. Just get an AI to create a realistic-looking picture of your idea, post it for sale online, and then just watch. Do people click? Do they ask you questions? You are literally testing real-world demand before you spend a dime on building anything.
Now, this whole approach is built on a concept you've probably heard of, the minimum viable product, or MVP. Here's the key thing to remember. An MVP is not a crappy version of your final product. It's a tool for learning. Its one and only job is to get you real feedback from real customers as fast and as cheap as humanly possible.
And listen, an MVP doesn't have to be some fancy app or complicated piece of tech. Look at these examples. It can be a cookie sample you're handing out at a farmer's market. It's that AI image we just talked about. It could be a simple email newsletter you write every week, or even a single wooden arch you built in your garage to rent out for weddings. All of these are real, simple, and super effective MVPs.
So, you did it. You've validated your idea, you've even got your first few customers. Now what? This is where so many people get stuck. They think they need some stroke of genius, one amazing marketing hack. But growth, it isn't about that. It's about two much less glamorous things: massive, massive volume, and ruthless focus.
I mean, just look at this chart. It says everything. When Hormozi started his first gym, he put out 300 flyers, got nothing, and thought, well, I guess flyers don't work. But then his mentor told him that his version of a test was putting out 5,000 flyers a day. The difference in scale is just insane. What you think is a massive effort is probably just the warm-up.
But as you start to get some traction, a brand new threat shows up. It's the woman in the red dress, which is a great analogy from the movie The Matrix. It's that next shiny object, that other cooler business idea. It's the ultimate distraction that pulls your attention away from the thing that's actually starting to work.
And this quote,
Well, it's a bit raw, but it's exactly why that distraction is so dangerous. Every other business looks easier from the outside because you don't see its problems. You know all the messy parts, the shit, in your own business. But trust me, every business has them. Chasing that greener grass just means you're swapping problems you understand for a whole new set you know nothing about.
Okay, so we've covered mindset, finding and testing an idea, and how to think about growth. But none of it matters if you don't act. So let's bring this all home and talk about the single most critical habit you need to build to finally kill that paralysis for good.
For just a minute, forget about the perfect business plan, the logo, the website, all that stuff can wait. The real foundation, the one skill that everything else is built on top of, is way simpler and way more powerful.
This is it, a bias for action. That's the whole game. Your only goal should be to shrink the gap between I have an idea and I'm doing the thing, until it's almost zero. Think it, do it. Have a product idea? Make that AI image right now. Think you should reach out to someone? Send the email. Each tiny action builds momentum. And in the beginning, momentum is everything.
And please, do not be afraid to fail. One of the guys we've been talking about has started something like 80 different businesses. You know how many of them worked out? Just a few. The vast majority fizzled out. But that's the point. It's a numbers game. You have to take a lot of shots to get a hit.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Not what are you going to do next week or tomorrow. What is one tiny, low-friction thing you can do on your idea today, before you go to sleep tonight? The answer to that question? That's your first step. Go take it.